What's up, my busy bees? Welcome back, and I hope you are all doing well. I was hoping to avoid this particular topic a while longer, but nevertheless, here we are. So today we'll be discussing insects in movies. Yes, there will also be arachnids brought up too, because who doesn't love spiders? If you don't, then click away from this video immediately. No, I'm just kidding. Stay with us. So let's get started then, shall we? First, yes, I know that movies are for entertainment, but they also give birth to huge misconceptions and fears about insects and arachnids, and frankly, other animal species. Second, there are a few mild spoilers to a few movies that will be listed, so if you've not yet seen them, be mindful of that. Recently, by the recommendation of a friend, I watched the film Killer Bees, which is one of many that has highlighted the infamous Africanized bee, aka killer bees. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give it a solid 6. It is definitely a product of its time, and the digital graphics are actually not that bad, especially for when it was made. Graphics aside, there are some major errors I'd like to address. Probably my biggest complaint with that film is when a forensic entomologist looks at a dead worker bee under a microscope to be identified as Apis scutellata, which is the Africanized honeybee for those of you that don't know. We're going to do a fact check here. You cannot visually identify an Africanized honeybee. They bred so much with European strains to the extent of having every feature they do. There are morphological analyses that can be done in a laboratory setting to suggest they might be Africanized, which aren't as effective as they used to be. You can only be certain with a reasonable amount of confidence that they might be Africanized if you have a genetic ancestry test done. Another issue in this film is the exaggerated amount of time they made hives after swarming a victim. It takes bees a lot of time, energy, and resources to build a hive, and they certainly aren't going to make a hive only to leave it a few minutes after. There is also a line about how if a queen does not like a location, they won't stay there. Okay, another fact check. The queen does not make any decisions for the nest. The workers do all of that. When they are looking for a new nest site, they will swarm to a tree limb or wherever, and then send out scouts to surrounding areas where they then come back and do a behavior commonly known as the waggle dance to communicate their site findings, after which other bees go to, and then they come back and decide which site is best and where they're going to go. Majority rules. Even if 51% want this site and 49% like another site, they go with what the 1% more of the population has decided. So, a true democracy. Some things I would like to highlight have truth in the film. Should Africanized bees become provoked, they're extremely dangerous and do live up to their reputation of pursuing their attackers. Some have been known to follow their victims well over a mile away. Talk about holding a grudge. Another film I would like to bring up is Arachnophobia, which highlights the fear of spiders. The particular species of spider used in this film is the Goliath bird-eating tarantula, used for its size, as they are the largest species of tarantula, which have fangs that are about 1.5 inches long. To put that into perspective, that is the length of a cheetah claw. Issue number 1 with this film being, if a tarantula did come to the States and it did come across another species of spider, it would not mate with it. One, that isn't possible. They are two very different types of spider. Two, different from one another. And spiders, they don't like one another. There are very few species that are social, and tarantulas aren't one of them. Now, how about a nicer film? I think so. Most children and parents are familiar with the film Bee Movie, which is a very popular movie teachers use to teach children about the importance of bees. While there is a powerful message in there about the need to save bees, It unfairly pinned the whole weight of the world's pollination services on honeybees. If honeybees did take a break from their duties as pollinators, the world would not just come to an end. Remember, honeybees are one of 20,000 species of bees, one of 4,000 in the United States. That's not to mention the countless other species of pollinators, such as butterflies and beetles and etc. So the notion that without honeybees the world is doomed is simply not true at all. Would it impact the world and our food supply? Absolutely, but the planet wouldn't die. We're just going to address attention to the fact that the movie depicts male bees as workers, and that just doesn't happen realistically. Male bees' entire purpose is to find and mate with queen bees. They don't even feed themselves, which is always why they are always done away with in the winter. They are just worthless mouths to feed, literally. So while there are other films that could be addressed about the misconceptions or good representations they present, that's all the time we have today. Thank you all for viewing, and next time we'll be discussing insect life cycles. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment for the Q&A session coming up, and tell friends and family about us. Now, buzz off.